Every 2 seconds, someone's identity is stolen. So, what are you doing to protect yourself? $200 billion was stolen in 2020 alone. And that's just the part that was actually reported. So, can you really afford not to protect yourself? I don't think so. But what can you actually do? That's what we're going to be talking about in today's episode. So, let's do this. All right, welcome back to another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. We are talking today all about identity theft and 4 easy life-saving steps that you need to protect yourself. And we might have more because I get really passionate about this topic, and people misuse our data all the freaking time. Okay, so it's even more important that we protect ourselves. The first thing that you need to do is you need to be utilizing secure passwords. So this is not talking about remembering things. And honestly, we can't really come up with secure passwords, okay? You have to be using a tool for this. Your pets' names, your children's names, birthdays, all of those things, they're not secure. It's just not. Please stop. Oh my goodness. This is something that my husband still tries to do. And if you're listening, babe, you know I love you, but we need to work on your password habits. But utilizing secure passwords. These are not passwords that you have to remember. And each site should have different passwords as well, because if they hack into one, they can get into all of them if you use the same password over and over again. So, you know I'm big on systems. So, use a system for this. LastPass. Okay. It's free for like personal use. I do have a paid plan, but that's because of my business and like having my team have access to certain passwords that they need to have access to. But beyond that, it's free. So then you only have to come up with one password, use random things, don't make it personal for you. You have to change, they call it your master password. And you have to change your master password. I think it's probably like twice a year that they make you change it. So when they make you change it, it's a little frustrating because then you have to work to remember a new one. So when you come up with this obscure password that's your master password, write it down in a secure place. That does not mean putting it on like the home, like on a sticky note on your computer or saving it on the front page of your phone. Get the hiccups today. This might be interesting, but finding a secure place to put it, whether it's locking it in a hidden safe, which is something that I do, but finding somewhere secure to keep it. Then you only have to remember one password. There's a password generator inside the app, and then it memorizes it for you. They have extensions on the computer so that you can autofill it. They have apps on your phone so that you can either copy and paste or autofill when you need things, but you have to use secure passwords, okay? Which brings us to the second point here, okay? Multi-factor authentication, especially for those of you that are running businesses. Listen, Facebook, Instagram, turn on 2-factor multi-authentication right now. Okay. Pause if you have to. But if you're listening on your phone, it should be able to keep going, and just go take care of this. It's really simple. It's in the settings under privacy. What happens is when you log in, where someone else got your password and tried to log in, it sends a text to your phone, and you have to input that number in before you can log in. There are too many people that are getting hacked. And especially as business owners, there are people that are hacking the accounts and then you're never recovering them again. So if you're running your business using Facebook or Instagram, this is like a necessity. But even that, like, you're putting your friends and family in jeopardy by not having the 2-factor authentication turned on, because if you get hacked, you've opened the door that your friends or family can too. And it's so simple to do. It takes 2 seconds. So even if a hacker gets your password, they would need your phone to identify and verify and access your account, which if you're utilizing a secure password, that's already decreased the likelihood. So you're protecting yourself, okay? The third thing that we need to do, third step you can take to protect your identity. Has to do with identity theft monitoring. Now, this one to do on a regular basis would have a cost associated with that. I'm going to add some links in the show notes for you for the company that I'm currently utilizing, but there are tons of companies out there that will monitor your identity. So this includes like dark web monitoring. This can be email monitoring. There's another one that they include in there, and I'm forgetting what it's called at the moment. But most of the identity theft monitoring companies cover these things. But at a minimum, if you're saying, look, I'm not going to pay for this, check your credit report on an annual basis. It should be creditreport.com. I'll find that link and put it in the show notes as well. You can get access to your credit reports once a year on all 3 bureaus, absolutely free. Check your credit reports and make sure that there's nothing fraudulent on there. As a bonus, the identity theft monitoring company that I'm using currently also does credit restoration. So they would take care of that as well. If you have things that are incorrect on your credit report, because most of us do, there are so many different details that they have to get right for it to be legitimate on your credit report. Most people don't have that. So it's an added bonus as well. Again, all those links are in the show notes if you want more information on that. But there you go. Step number 3, identity theft monitoring. The 4th thing, store and shred documents safely. Now, if you have an Amazon addiction, like me, I'm raising my hand here. It's like a healthy addiction though. Like I use it wisely. It's not unnecessarily. All those packages we're receiving, all the mail and letters you're receiving, you have to remove your name and address from that. Somebody can steal your identity with your name and address alone. So every time you throw away a box without removing your information, you're putting yourself at risk. Same thing with documents that we get in the mail. Take the name and address off. It's really inexpensive to have a shredder. I believe like in my city, they actually have like a document shredding day or something that they have like the more commercial machines available that you just take your stuff up there and they shred it for you type thing. Old credit debit cards. The mail's really a big one that we see all the time. And when you're done with the bank statement or something, don't throw it away. That all needs to be shredded because it does not take much information for your identity to be compromised. In fact, myself in, let's see, was that 2021? Was it 2020? I think it was 2020. Somebody was trying to hack into one of my credit card login companies, and they actually somehow cracked the password, which was kind of interesting considering I have the secure passwords. But they were trying to reset my username and they were not able to do that. So because of that, I was able to catch up. We went in, reset everything, and then it was all fine. But if we weren't monitoring that, it could have been problematic. So that's really the 4 steps that I had planned for you. Last side note, just because this is a soapbox thing for me. If you were sending out emails to a group of people, blind copy them in. Anytime that you were just CCing people, copying people on emails, you are misusing their data. And technically, you're liable for the privacy policy breach, which I believe is either $1,000 fine per incident or 10,000. We'll just say 1,000, just be careful. But please use people's data responsibly. There is nothing more frustrating than doing all the things that you're supposed to and somebody else is being careless. So if you have that responsibility, if you have that spot where you can be responsible for that, please use other people's data responsibly as well. There are so many different laws, especially as a business owner, GDPR and all of those things that we need to keep integrity and do the right thing with people's data as well, which probably should save for another day. Okay. So let's recap today. 4 life-saving steps that you need to protect your identity. Okay. The first one was we're utilizing secure passwords. The tool that I use for that is LastPass. Again, that was free for you. Number 2, we've turned on multi-factor authentication wherever we can. But at a minimum, Facebook, Instagram, those are the ones that I see hacked on a regular basis. Number 3, we have identity theft monitoring. Either you're paying for a subscription, they're taking care of it for you, or you have set a reminder to check your credit reports yourself one time a year. Number 4, we are storing and shredding our documents safely. And the bonus tip was we are keeping integrity, we're keeping our responsibility. When other people's data falls into our responsibility, we are handling that in a professional, secure manner. All right. So your challenge for you today that I have for you today is to take action. Really, any one of these is a great place to start. Ideally, implement all 4 of them because it's just a starting point and they're so simple to do. Then I want you to let me know how you're protecting yourself and send me a message on Instagram at Aimee Cerka. I can't wait to hear from you, and we'll see you next week for another episode of the Your Money, Your Life podcast. Bye for now.